The Holy Gospel according to St. Mark, the 10th chapter. James and John, the sons of Zebedee, came forward to him and said to him, "Teacher, we want you to do for us whatever we ask of you." And he said to them, "What is it you want me to do for you?" And they said to him, "Grant us to sit, one at your right hand and one at your left hand, in your glory." But Jesus said to them, "You do not know what you are asking. Are you able to drink the cup that I drink, or be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with?" They replied, "We are able." Then Jesus said to them, "The cup that I drink you will drink, and with the baptism with which I am baptized you will be baptized. But to sit at my right hand or at my left hand is not mine to grant, but it is for those whom it has been prepared." When the 10 heard this, they began to be angry with James and John. So Jesus called them and said to them, "You know that among the Gentiles, those whom they recognize as their rulers lord it over them, and their great ones are tyrants over them. But it is not so among you. But whoever wishes to be great among you must be your servant, and whoever wishes to be first among you must be slave of all. For the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life a ransom for many." The Gospel of the Lord. Well, tonight, we're going to do a little memory recall, some mental imaging, so to speak. So I'd like to ask you, if you're comfortable, to close your eyes for a moment. Think back to middle school or high school. And as you begin to draw from those memories, I want you to picture in your mind the building where you attended school. Think of the hallways. Think of the classrooms. Think of where you spent your time. And now, find your way to the cafeteria. What does it smell like? What do you hear? What does it look like from the doorway as you enter? Who is sitting where? What groups do you see scattered around? And where are your friends sitting? Is there anyone sitting alone? Why are they alone? Where are you headed? What does it feel like to think back to this place? Did you have a place where you normally sat? Is there someone else you would have rather sat? Finally, where is it that the cool kids are sitting? Is it over there? Or are you sitting at that table? What is it like to be you in that cafeteria? When you're ready, you can open your eyes again. I remember lunchtime in high school, for me, being a time of great stress, especially the last 2 years. I was involved in a number of activities and therefore was part of a variety of friend groups. There was a group of people I played sports with who I sat and ate lunch with the first 2 years of high school. But then there was the choir table. And as a junior, I joined choir and met some of the people who I still consider my friends today. I chose to sit with these people my last 2 years, but this rubbed my athlete friends the wrong way a little bit. So when I stopped eating with them, they were annoyed and even offended. And then there was that table that I secretly longed to be sitting at, the popular table. You know the one, the table where those who were in sat. I wanted so badly to be one of the kids that everyone knew. I felt so invisible to that table. In fact, there was a girl who sat at that table who won the most votes for most athletic girl of our senior year. All she did, though, was run track for 2 seasons. I played 3 sports over 4 years and lettered as a varsity athlete 9 times. I just felt so invisible to that table, and I really wanted so badly to be there. Looking back now, I wonder, though, what was that all about? The best I can figure is the only reason I wanted to be at that table was because I wanted to be known. I wanted the world to see me in all my glory and think I was one of the coolest people they could ever know. I wanted a place of prominence. I wanted to sit at a place where others wanted to sit. And I wanted to know that I was worthy. And for some reason, sitting at the cool kids' table made me feel like I would be worthy. In today's reading, we hear about 2 disciples who have a place they want to sit, James and John. And you see, in their time, a place of prominence, the place of glory, and the place where you would definitely be known were the seats next to the king. These seats were reserved to those closest to the king, and they held great power. Sometimes I think we look back at this story and we marvel at the audacity of James and John, right? To even ask what they were asking for, the seats next to their king. The other 10 disciples are obviously offended that somehow James and John would think that they should be so powerful. But I wonder, what was their motive? Power in and of itself is not bad. There's a lot of good that can be done when you have power. And I wonder if that's how we are in our life many times. Perhaps our motivations for sitting at the cool kids' table aren't so noble. Maybe it is out of selfish desires. Maybe we simply want the glory. And perhaps this was the case for James and John. But perhaps our motivations are good. We want to be a positive influence. We believe that by people knowing who we are, we can make a difference. And we want to use our power for good. Either way, it's funny how we all miss the point, really. Whether we actually sit at the table and hold the power or sit in our other places and wish we were there, we end up making it all about a place of prominence and a place of glory, for good or bad. And we want to know that somehow, because we sit in a certain place, we're somehow worthy. And we forget something very important. In all of this desire to be known, we forget that we already are. This is the message that Jesus shares with us in Mark's gospel, that God has come to earth to serve, and in that serving, even to the point of suffering on a cross and dying, losing his life so that we might gain life, glory is in serving. Glory is in losing our life to others, shifting the focus from me and where I want to sit to the other and where they are sitting. Jesus tells us that we don't need a seat of prominence because he already knows us. He knows me. He knows you. He has come to you. He has walked with you. And he has served you. And he has called us to do the same. We are called to drink the same cup, and we are baptized into the same baptism. And through our baptism, we are called to serve. We are worthy to be at that table, not because of what we do, but because what God has done for us. And so as we think about our lives today, grown up and away from that school cafeteria, I wonder what has taken the place of that cafeteria for us. Can we look at our lives from the view of the cafeteria doorway and wonder, what is the best place to sit today? Should I be sitting at the cool kids table and using my influence for good? Should I be sitting with friends and caring for them? Should I find that person who is alone and ask them why it is that they're there by themselves? Should I be the one handing out the food or cleaning the table? Last night I attended a wedding, and the bride and groom had created place cards for each of the guests for the dinner portion of the evening. Each little card had our name on it and a table number. And it was so funny to me that all the people in our church group were catching each other and inquiring, which table are you at? 15? Oh, me too. That's going to be the fun table. Or, where's such and so? 17. Well, okay, I guess we can't all sit together. And then this one woman and I started to chuckle a little bit, and she said to me, isn't it funny that we never grow out of knowing where to know or wanting to know where to sit? And I chuckled back and I said, it's funny that you should ask that because I'm preaching about that tomorrow. God has given us a great gift to be in relationship with each other. And with that gift, we are called to serve. Let us not get so wrapped up in where we want to sit as much as we are in where God calls us to sit. And let us not forget that glory is not in who we know or where we sit or even what we do to serve others, but glory is in what God does for us. We will always want to know others and be known, but let's not forget that we already are. God knows us and calls us worthy. God calls us to see the worthiness in all those around us, those whom we serve and those who serve us. Glory be to God who knows us, knows our hearts, and has raised us up with him in glory through the ultimate act of service. Glory be to God who has made a place for all of us to sit around God's table. Amen.